Amid roaring ocean waves and earth-shattering tremors, one mighty deity reigns over the vast sea. Poseidon, the great god of the oceans, the ruler of nature's fury, and one of the three most powerful beings on Mount Olympus. Poseidon is more than a name. He embodies the blue sea, both life-giver and destroyer, serene beauty and raging wrath. To the Romans, he is Neptune, but to ancient Greeks, Poseidon remains the unyielding symbol of water's might. Born of the powerful Titans Cronus and Rhea, Poseidon is the brother of supreme gods like Zeus, god of thunder, and Hades, lord of the underworld. Yet fate showed him no mercy from the start. Legend says Cronus, fearing he would be overthrown by his children as he had overthrown his father, swallowed each newborn. Poseidon and his siblings were imprisoned in their father's stomach until their youngest brother Zeus escaped thanks to his mother and led a rebellion against Cronus. That rebellion freed Poseidon and launched the Titanomachy, the great war between the younger gods and the ruling Titans. When the war ended, the victorious gods faced a grand task, dividing dominion over the universe. The world was split into three realms: the sky, the sea, and the underworld. For fairness, each brother drew lots. Zeus claimed the sky, Hades the underworld, and Poseidon, as fate decreed, became god of the seas. But the ocean he inherited was far from peaceful. It had once belonged to ancient deities like Oceanus, the eternal river encircling the world, and Nereus, the wise and gentle sea-old man. Poseidon did not simply inherit it, he conquered it and made the sea his domain. With his powerful trident, he became master of the deep and brought a new order to the watery realms. From his lavish palace built of coral and gemstones beneath the waves, Poseidon governs every tide and current. He seldom visits Olympus. His kingdom is too vast and majestic to leave. He is not merely god of the waters. Poseidon is the primal, untamed force itself, a force unmatched by any other deity. His presence is foretold by the roar of the ocean, springs of sacred waters, or the trembling ground beneath humankind. Poseidon is more than myth. He symbolizes balance and chaos, the raw remnants of a world not tamed by humans. In the next part, we'll go deeper, where his trident doesn't only carve the sea, but also rakes the earth, causing tremors that inspire awe and fear. No god of Greek myth walks into legend without a symbolic tool of divine authority. Zeus has the lightning bolt, Hades, the home of invisibility, and Poseidon, god of ocean and quake, wields the legendary trident. Forged by the Cyclops, the one-eyed giants, at the height of the Titanomachy, three weapons turn the tide: Zeus's thunderbolt, Hades' invisible helm, and Poseidon's trident. Each weapon mirrored the essence of its god. Poseidon's trident is more than a weapon. It is the source of his power. It compels the sea to obey and shakes the earth beneath. With a single thrust, he calls storms from the sky or quakes that swallow cities. Wherever the trident strikes, the earth cracks. Nature's fury made visible. For this, the Greeks called him Enosigaios, the earth shaker. He can also cause springs to flow, sacred wells to emerge, and lakes to form. Wherever his trident touches, water bursts forth as if life springs from his divine hand. Thus he is both god of the ocean and divine protector of all waters. When Poseidon travels across the sea, people do not merely see a god, they witness a supernatural force. He rides a golden chariot pulled by hippocampi, creatures half horse, half fish, followed by an entourage of dolphins, sea drakes, mermaids, and lesser water spirits. It is not a parade. It is the manifestation of supreme authority upon the waves. Poseidon's power does not stop at the ocean. Even lands far inland, beyond the shore, lie within his reach. Mighty earthquakes that topple fortresses and collapse homes were seen as signs of his wrath. And when wells dry up in parched lands, people believed Poseidon had withheld his mercy, punishing humans for sin or disrespect. Because of this force, ancient Greeks revered Poseidon with fear and devotion. They prayed before voyages and built shrines even inland, hoping the earthquakes might spare them. No god was both life-bringer and terror-giver like Poseidon, god of sea, land, and instability. His trident is no mere object, it is a symbol of dueling power, protection, and destruction. In the next section, we'll explore why this mighty deity became an everlasting source of awe for those who depend on the sea, and why even the most loyal cannot rest easy under his rule. In the Greek pantheon, each deity carries a unique character. Athena is just, Ares is ruthless, Dionysus uninhibited. But if there is one god who both mortals and gods revere and fear, it is Poseidon, whose heart is as deep, wild, and unpredictable as the sea. Unlike Zeus, who strives to preserve cosmic order, or Hades, who rules the underworld in silent resolve, Poseidon is raw emotion and untamed instinct. He hides no fury. He holds back no rebellion. He is the god humans both adore and dread. He guards the seas, yet he shows no mercy to those who cross his waters. Sailors, from humble fishermen to naval captains, know their fate depends on his mood. Before every voyage, they offer sacrifices and prayers, hoping the sea god remains calm. But even devotion cannot guarantee safety. When Poseidon is enraged, he makes no distinction between the guilty and the innocent. The sea does not discriminate. A ship filled with loyal crew may vanish beneath the waves if it sails during his wrath. Even more terrifying, Poseidon is not confined to the deep. He is also god of earthquakes and droughts, disasters no land can escape. When the ground trembles, Greeks believed Poseidon stomped in anger below the sea, and the echo shook the world. Inland towns also lie under his influence. When a spring runs dry, people do not blame the sky or the season. They whisper Poseidon's name. That is the message. The god of water has withdrawn favor, issuing a warning. Thus Greeks built temples not only by the sea, but in barren hills and distant cities. They held processions and rituals year-round, a fragile attempt to keep his fury at bay. Poseidon is a mighty god, yet lonely in his own power. Not because he is unloved, but because he is dreaded. No one dares meet the waves when the sea roils, nor speak Poseidon's name when the ground splits. He lives in every breath of nature, yet seldom receives words of gentle praise. It is precisely this nature, fierce, unstable, unpredictable, that makes Poseidon a symbol of the most dangerous yet essential forces of the world. Like the sea, source of life and grave. Like the earth, provider and ender. Like himself, divine and terrifying. After quakes and storms that swallowed armies, people often ask, what could pacify Poseidon, a god with a heart as turbulent as ocean currents? Could he love or be grounded by love? The answer lies in the depths where Poseidon found a woman capable of touching the gentlest part of his soul. Her name, Amphitrite, a Nereid, daughter of Nereus and Doris, one of the pure sea nymphs. Amphitrite was not an ordinary mortal beauty. She personified the pristine, untamed essence of the sea and resisted submission. When Poseidon proposed, she fled to the ocean's farthest edge, a realm untouched even by other gods. Poseidon saw this as an insult, but instead of wrath and storms, he responded with patience. He sent one of the ocean's gentlest creatures, a dolphin named Delphinus, to find her. The tale turns magical. With kindness and sincerity, Delphinus persuaded Amphitrite to return, not from fear of power, but she sensed deep within Poseidon a desire as humble as any, to love and be loved. When Amphitrite agreed to marry, the seas calmed for 7 days, a divine blessing. Their wedding took place not on Olympus, but in Poseidon's underwater palace, a coral and gem castle lit by reflected ocean light. He crowned her queen of the sea. They had a child, Triton, half man, half fish, the prince of the sea. Triton symbolized a new generation of sea gods and witnessed a moment when Poseidon experienced love and family, not just dominion and power. Yet Poseidon was not a faithful husband. Like Zeus, he fathered many children outside marriage, but unlike Hera's jealous reactions, Amphitrite chose silence. She did not curse rivals, did not unleash monsters, nor bring disaster. Her composure commanded respect even on Olympus, perhaps because of her restraint. Poseidon's other offspring, Pegasus, Chrysaor, Polyphemus, remained part of myth. Amphitrite's love and forgiveness preserved a gentler side of Poseidon within the endless storm. In Greek myth, love often ends in tragedy, but deep in the ocean, Poseidon and Amphitrite had a bond that was quiet yet eternal, like the sea, calm or stormy, but endlessly profound. If Poseidon is a wave, he is a wave that never stops. Like wave, he does not focus on one shore. Though paired with Amphitrite, a gracious sea queen, Poseidon could not resist mortal beauty and divine freedom. His lovers were many and legendary, notable not just for beauty, but their legacy. One famous affair was with Medusa, a beautiful priestess of Athena. Desire or destiny led Poseidon to seize Medusa within Athena's temple, an act that desecrated sacred ground. Athena, goddess of wisdom and honor, did not punish Poseidon but cursed Medusa instead. She was transformed into a fearsome monster with snakes for a hair and a gaze that turned onlookers to stone, a tragic emblem of violated innocence. From that dark episode, as Perseus later beheaded her, 2 extraordinary beings emerged from her blood. Pegasus, the winged horse, symbol of freedom and divine inspiration. Chrysaor, a mighty warrior giant, less famed but equally divine. Poseidon fathered Tyro's twins, Peleus and Neleus, by disguising himself as her husband. Peleus later became king of Iolcus, only to be tricked and killed by his daughter Medea. Neleus founded Pylos, father of the hero king Nestor, wise and long-lived in the Iliad. He was also father of Polyphemus, the one-eyed Cyclops. In the Odyssey, Polyphemus torments Odysseus until the hero blinds him. Poseidon, enraged, punished Odysseus, making his journey home painfully long. It shows, to defy a child of Poseidon is to challenge the god himself. In another tradition, Poseidon is father of Theseus, Athens' heroic founder who slew the Minotaur. But when Theseus acted impulsively and cruelly, Poseidon turned against him, sending a sea monster to end his life, a tragic close to one of Greece's greatest heroes. Poseidon also took the form of a horse to woo Demeter, goddess of agriculture, and fathered Orion, the divine horse that spoke human language, swift as wind, soul of a god. Orion served heroes like Heracles and became forever symbol of divine speed and intelligence. Upon the sunlit, windswept hill of the Acropolis, not with sword or spear, but with gifts, a contest decided a city's fate. Athens, a name of greatness not born by chance, emerged from the rivalry of the 2 mightiest Olympians, Poseidon, god of sea and quake, and Athena, goddess of wisdom, strategy, and justice. Poseidon, hair wild with sea wind and trident shimmering green, stood before the hill of an unnamed city. He demanded it be his center, its people, honoring the sea, his power, and the prosperity he would bring. To prove his strength, he struck his trident on the rock, producing either a salt spring or a divine war horse born from the depths, swift and powerful like the crashing waves. The citizens were awed, a majestic gift indeed. Then Athena approached, calm yet majestic, no thunder, no boast. She planted her spear, and from it grew an olive tree, symbol of peace, wisdom, and sustainable life. An olive doesn't shake the earth, but provides oil to light lamps, leaves to heal, fruit to eat, wood to build. It promises lasting life, not just immediate awe. The people hesitated. Both gifts were great, both gods worthy. So the supreme gods, led by Zeus, decreed the city would choose its patron goddess, and the citizens chose Athena, not for raw force, but for knowledge, peace, and timeless vision. The city was named Athens in her honor. The olive tree remained on the Acropolis as living proof of their choice. Poseidon, proud in his power, raged. He stirred quakes and sea surges, threatening to drown the newborn city. But Zeus intervened. Once the choice was made, even gods could not force the will of people. Though defeated, Poseidon did not depart Athens. He kept a temple in the city and remained honored as the second deity, symbol of strength, balance, and the dangers worthy of respect. Today, atop the Acropolis, olive trees descended from that legendary seed grow, and near them cracks in the rock mark where Poseidon is said to have struck his trident. A part of him and a part of her still reside in the city's heart. Athens is more than a name. It's a choice. Between power and wisdom. Between dominion and enlightenment. The contest between Poseidon and Athena is not just a struggle for patronage, but an eternal metaphor for two paths humanity must choose, instinct or reason. Athens chose reason and became the cradle of philosophy, democracy, art, and civilization's light. But if you listen deeply to the sea breeze through Piraeus's rocks, you may still hear Poseidon's roar, proud, mighty, forever part of Athens itself.